Hello, everyone. This is Gary Ryan. Today's Fed League Flash. It's the weekend wrap up. Lots of games last night, obviously. We had a full slate of games, minus Motor City. So let's get right into it. Okay, first game. Wow, tale of two games, kind of. First part was the first period. No score, no penalties. Game was flowing along just fine, and then Elmira imploded. Um, Danbury erupts for a whole bunch of goals. Uh, Connor Rowley scores 336. Stoyevsky, 446. Jared Yao, 743. DeNicola at 1224. Kozlowski's second night in a row, he's pulled, and in comes Danik Rodriguez. And the mess continues. Stoyevsky again, Woolley again. Ruiz scores at the end of the second period. It's 7-0 before you could even blink. And then they added another goal for good measure. Early in the third, Johnny Ruiz again. And then Frank Trezera breaks up the shutout bid with 41 seconds left. So Danbury goes on to an easy 8-1 win. And Elmira continues its free fall. They've now lost 4 in a row, and they've got to be going, what's going on? They're not scoring at all. They're just having defensive lapses. Teams are scoring on them in gluts. So we got to see what's going on. But Stoyevsky had himself a nice night, 2 goals and an assist. Johnny Ruiz had the 2 power play goals, though. That was actually on consecutive power plays, thanks to Austin Pickford, who we'll talk about again a little bit later. For the night, we had McCollum stopping 33 of 34, second game in a row. He saved all but one. Kozlowski again. I didn't write it down here. It was, 12 of 16. So Elmira's got to figure out what's going on. So crowd of 1289 on hand. With the win, Danbury continues their climb. They are now 6-5 on the season, 17 points, third in the Empire. Elmira falls to 3-5, 7 points, and now they're sitting in last place. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Okay, Carolina and Blue Ridge. This game was a little bit more civil than Friday night's game. Blue Ridge actually started things off with the scoring. They had 3 players missing, 2 players missing, and their coach was fined from Friday's fracas. But anyway, Vladislav, excuse me. He scores a 419 to open things up for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. John Butita scores a minute and a half later on the power play. Justin Daly, again, tremendous find for the Bobcats. He scores at 9:52. Jan Salak answers at 10:34. So at the end of 1, it's 1-0. Shots 15-11, Carolina. So Blue Ridge found its offense. They had 15 shots all of Friday and 11 shots in the first period yesterday. Second period, Justin Daly scores again to give Blue Ridge the lead temporarily, but Jan Salak answers again to tie things up. And then the one melee that did happen, the teams traded off penalties, minors, except for Kyle Stevens, who got caught for headbutting, given the double minor, and Gus Ford ends up scoring on the ensuing power play, and that was the difference in the game. 4-3, Carolina. Nice crowd at the Apex Center, 1570 on hand. Cavalier stopping 30 of 35. Christian Pavlas, 28 of 32. Again, Daly with the 2 goals, as was the case with Jan Salak. So Carolina continues their climb. They move up in the standings, 6-2. Blue Ridge falls to 2-7-1. So 2 teams going in opposite directions at the current time. On to the Mississippi Seawolves hosting the Columbus River Dragons and the back end of a half home and home. And Columbus comes away with the win 5-2. It was all Columbus first half of this game. Kyle Moore scores a power play goal. Hunter Bersani finally gets on the score sheet after his return to the River Dragons lineup. As a matter of fact, he scored twice. Then we had a goal by Carter Shinkaruk. Kyle Moore scores again at the 12:58 mark of the second period. It's 5-0. Mississippi did end up clawing back a little bit. Jackson Bond ending up with 2 goals, both in the latter parts of the second and then the third period to make it a 5-2 final, but the damage had been done. Highlight for fans in this game, Alex Basie got in a couple of scraps. So that was entertainment for the crowd of 4,400. There's a little bit of a nonsense at the end of the game in which Joe Pace gets ejected, as does Alex Basie. We'll talk about that at the end. So, Carolina, see, I did it again. Columbus ends up going 7-1 now, firmly in control of the Continental Division, and Mississippi falls now to 4-4-1. They're having to figure things out defensively. So, a good crowd for finally the home opener for the Seawolves. All right, on to Watertown. Binghamton traveling up north to take on the Wolves. And, this kind of felt like a trap game for the Black Bears after they had their huge win the night before against Elmira. Things just didn't go their way. They didn't play poorly. It's just that Eli Bouchard was fantastic in goal for the Watertown Wolves. And the Wolves found some offense. They were given some opportunities to score from the middle of the ice. Took advantage of it. So Ivashkin starts things off early. And at the end of one, it's 1-0 Binghamton. And things are looking normal. And then the tide turned. Early in the second, Mark Botero scores at 2:50. Trevor Lord scores a minute and a half later to get, and that was the game-winning goal. Gives Watertown the lead. You have Alexander Gemzadov, who, of course, was with the Black Bears earlier this year. He scores, as does Pavlov, and before you know it, it's 4-1, and Noah Egbert, who was in goal for the Black Bears, was pulled. A couple of those goals, bless you. A couple of those goals were really soft, and just not Egbert's night. So he's pulled. Connor McAnama comes in, and not much else happened offensively for the Wolves except for Igor Sergeyev scores midway through the third, and it's 5-1, and that was it. Bless you.
Thank you.
And a couple leaky goals by Egbert. He'd love to have back, I know, but sometimes that happens. In the meantime, Binghamton's peppering Bouchard with shots, and he stood tall. Bouchard played fantastic, and it was good to see. At the last couple of outings that Bouchard had were not his best, and he really got to show what he was yesterday. So Binghamton, with the loss, falls to 7-1-3, still in first place in the Empire, and the Watertown Wolves improved to 3-5, 9 points. They vault themselves into fourth place. And yeah, everybody's happy in North Country. 856 fans taking in the game, and there you go. Final game of the night: Port Huron taking on Baton Rouge. Second of 2 games in the boot. Nice crowd of 3,400 on hand. Port Huron pulls it out. Nice, quality win for them. Liam Freeborn scores a 420. Wide open first period. Shots were 22-19 in that first period. Dalton J scores a power play goal, or the game-winning goal, actually, at 9:38 of the second period. It was good to see Jay get off the schneid. It's been a long time since he's scored. Of course, he is the active player leading in goals in the Fed right now. So Evan Foley adds a tally at 18:36. Third period, Brandon Picard scores. Finally, Cody Rogers gets the Zydeco on the board at 5:08 of the third, but it was too little, too late. Alex Johnson getting a power play goal with about a minute 15 left. And that's it. A nice 5-1 win for the Port Huron Prowlers, and they generated a lot of offense, something they have had struggles doing this year. So Baton Rouge, their struggles continue. They didn't play poorly. It's just at this point, they're still kind of outmatched, still trying to get some chemistry going with the team themselves as well. So Freeborn ends up with is that a ladybug? Goal and assist. You got Brandon Picard with a goal and assist. Tucker Tynan gets the win in goal, playing very nicely. His second win. And for the Zydeco, the only goal coming from Cody Rogers. We had a little incident with Matt Bazarin. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Greg Harney, man, he got a workout and a half yesterday, saving 49 shots, and it's 5 still got by him. But that's not that loss is not on Harney. So there you go. Port Huron improves their situation. They are now 4-3-1. Baton Rouge falls to 1-8 on the season. All right, final thing to mention. Well, 2 things. First of all, tomorrow's video, we're going to have Stars of the Week, my 5 stars. And it's kind of technically 6, but we'll explain that tomorrow. And also, we're going to have a look at the standings. So we're going to talk a little bit about the way that the league does the standings. And also, we will have power rankings on Spotify, so tune in for those. All right, last little bit, and this is not a regular feature. I'm just mentioning it for this video. And no, this is not sarcasm. There were a lot of disappointing individual plays this last weekend. A lot of boneheaded moves. A lot of just weird things. So just for tonight, or for today, we are doing the 3 facepalms of the day. The first one goes to Matt Bazarin for just ridiculous boarding major that he receives late in the third period. Obviously, just out of frustration, and he ends up getting the gate. I don't think he's going to be suspended for that. However, getting 2 suspensions. First, Austin Pickford for the Elmira River Sharks, gets 2 game misconducts on 1 play. First, an aggressor major match penalty, and then a physical abuse of officials. You can't do that. So, he's going to be suspended, as is Joe Pace. Joe Pace doing Joe Pace things. Spearing match penalty awarded at the very end of the game. Totally unnecessary. Joe, enjoy your suspension. So there's your 3 face palms of the week, guys. Got to do better. All right. Well, anyway, that is that. That is the weekend wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. And make sure to catch the video tomorrow, stars and standings, as well as tomorrow on Spotify again, Power Rankings. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash.